What's up, guys? We're just doing a little bit of a European mount video. There's a lot on YouTube, and some guys are doing it a different way than I'm doing it. I'm going to show you what I think is the cheapest, most effective, fastest way to get it done. It's super affordable. Most people can get it done at home, so we're going to give you the product list that we use here. That way you can go ahead and get all these, and then within a day, you're going to be able to do your own bleaching process included. So first item we use, saran wrap and electrical tape. We put this at the base of the antler to prevent discoloration. If you don't use saran wrap and electrical tape at the base and the water gets up to the antler, you will lose the color. So keep your antlers safe and do saran wrap and then a couple layers of electrical tape real tight. That'll keep it from discoloring. The second item we have is OxyClean. It's LA's Totally Awesome OxyClean. You can buy it at the dollar store. It's literally $1 for this. So one can will last you a few years. I've been working out of this can for 2 or 3 years. 2 scoops for every boil you do. So just dump in 2 scoops, get the boil going, and this will help cut the grease and it'll help get that fat and the meat off there faster. So LA's Totally Awesome. We have mini propane bottles here, and this is how we're going to use. This is what we're going to use for the heat. This attachment is just a screw-in attachment. It screws into the top of your propane bottle. Comes with this little base here. We're setting our pot right on top of this burner, and we're going to start the boil. So you turn the propane on, put a match to it, it'll start, and then this will last you about an hour, hour and a half. Normally 2 or 3 of these will get it done for you. So that's $8 for 2 of them. So again, pretty cheap item there. I also use a pair of needle nose pliers. Any needle nose pliers will be fine. I use this to get in there and get the sinuses out. If you don't take the sinuses out, a lot of videos on YouTube they're not pulling the sinuses out. You will get discoloration over time and you will get stench. So to truly get a clean skull, you got to pull that out. We'll show you the process of doing it once we pull one out. But we use those needle nose pliers to go up through, grab the sinus cavity, and pull it all out. So any needle nose pliers is fine. Last item on the list, potentially the most important item on the list. This is Salon Care 40 volume. It's a little bit odd. You can buy it at any beauty store. You can buy it at Walmart. People do look at you funny when you walk into a beauty store asking for this product. But make sure it's the 40 volume with the red label here. That's a really important step. So after we're done boiling, and we get all of the meat off, we'll use a paintbrush and we'll put this on, or you can use a glove in your fingers and just rub it on there. Leave it sit for a few hours, even overnight if you'd like, and then wash it off. And this is what's going to give you that bleached look. So this product's the most important. We have a really big jug here since we do a lot of them, but you can get a much smaller one as well. 10, 12 bucks for a smaller jug of it. So Salon Care 40 volume, really important product. The other thing you can use too is you can use rubber gloves if you don't want to get anything on you. But other than that, we also are going to use a pressure washer just to spray some of it off. That's not needed, but it makes it a little bit faster, so we'll show that process as well. But other than that, these items right here are all you need. We have an example I did 4 or 5 years ago of one here. So this is going to be your finished product here. So follow us along here. We're going to get going with the process. We'll show you all the steps, and take your time, and you can have one just like this. As you can see, obviously the first step is to get the hide off. You don't want to put it in the boiling water with the hide on. It'll discolor the skull a little bit and it'll take forever, make a hairy mess. So we go ahead and we use a knife and we take as much meat as we can off of the skull, and obviously the hide off of the skull. This one we did a little bit back, and then I took the electrical tape that we discussed earlier. I electrical taped the roots here, right where it starts on the antler, the bases, and then I saran wrapped up here just to prevent discoloration. We got the burner on here, the propane, the pot on top. We're just going to go ahead and set it on here. In there slowly. You want the water just above the base of the antler. And I like to use this lid too, just to help the boil process a little bit faster. This lid will just go on. I usually put it right at the brown times. And that just helps trap the heat so you get a faster boil. Once it gets to a boil, you can pop that lid off, but it'll help it get to a boil. So at this point, we'll let it run, and we'll just wait a little bit here. And when we pull it out, we'll show you the next step. Okay, so it's been about an hour and a half on boil. We went ahead, took it out. We pressure washed it lightly. Just be careful, and they are pretty fragile, so lightly to spray off some of the meat there. The jaw falls off as that meat goes, so the jaw is now off, the bottom jaw is off, and it's starting to get there. So this is after an hour and a half. I do a water change, so I dump the water in the pot out, add 2 more scoops of OxyClean in there, and now he's going to go back in for another hour, hour and a half. We'll check on him again. Hopefully he's getting to the point where we can do our final boil and really clean him up. So another thing, I took the eyeballs out, cut around the circumference of the eyeball. They come right out. So he's going back in now, and we'll show him to you in a little bit here. Okay, so each one of these has been boiled twice. This one's about finished. This one's got to go in for a little bit more touch up, and then we'll show you the bleaching process after that. But I just wanted to take note and go over one thing I said at the beginning of the video. Is it's going to show you something that I see a lot of guys not doing that's going to lead to issues later on. The first, I didn't get video. It's pretty tough to take video of, but the sinus cavity, you put a needle nose pliers in there and you just pull that cavity out. The buck will not be 100% clean with that in there. As it gets older, 4 or 5 years, that starts to yellow in there. So make sure you take that out. Needle nose pliers, it pulls right out, usually in one piece. The second, I think the most important, is there's a cavity here right behind. I believe this is part of the sinus cavity as well. Right where the brain meets, there's a little knob in here. You can see this one's hollowed out. And this other one I'm going to show you is not. So you just take a screwdriver in there, and I'm going to show you how to do it on this one real quick. But this one you can tell has not been done. So these little balls right here in the skull pop out. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. It's super easy, it's super fast, and it's just going to help you getting a better skull in the long run. You're not going to get any stench from it or anything like that. So I'm going to show you how to do that quick. So you're going to feel, it's going to hear a little cracking, it's going to feel like you're breaking the skull, but you're not breaking the skull. It needs to be done. There's this little lobe right in here. And I'm just going to put the flathead screwdriver, any flathead screwdriver, there's a crevice you're going to see there. It goes in there. You hear it cracking, and it pops right out. You get in one piece, it's really nice. Do the other side here. Okay, so these both came out in one piece. That's mostly because they're boiled down. Sometimes you can use a pliers to help you get it out, twist it out at the end. And so here's those pieces. And now next time you put it in the water, it's going to boil all that flesh. There's a lot in there that I hadn't gotten the first time that you couldn't even see. So what will happen is that'll not only yellow, but it'll start to stink as it gets older. So if you just pop those pieces out, that simple, it's going to give you a much better final result. So just a little tip in keeping your skulls as clean as possible and avoiding the smell. Alright guys, so we made it this far. This is the final step. This isn't the buck we initially started with, that's over there, but we're gonna start with this one. This one's actually been out for 2 years, so it didn't get quite as white from the initial boil, but we're gonna take care of that now. All the meat is off of it, it's about 99% clean. There's nothing left on the inside of it, so we are going to get just fresh water in the bucket here at a boil, and then you are going to pour in about 20%, so 20% of the Salon Care 40 volume, and then the other 80% is water. So we're going to get it to a boil. We're going to pour in 20% for this. Just real rough. I mean, you don't have to measure it out or anything. Okay. And it looks like it's just getting ready to boil. So we're going to go ahead and set the skull in it. And let the chemicals do the work. Just like that. Okay guys, we've had this in here for about 10-15 minutes. I think it's as white as it's going to get through the boil, so I don't want to overboil. I'm going to pull it out now. And it did get really, really white. Zoom in on it. And this is going to dry, and it's going to get a little bit more white as it dries. So I'm going to set him here, and I'm going to put the next one we're working on, the big one here. Go ahead and dip this guy in. Okay, now that one's in. This is just an extra step here, just to get that perfect white. Take a paintbrush and a little bit of this here. I'll pour some out here. And then you can just dab in there and just paint it on. Be really thick with it. Really glob it on there. And then I like to leave this overnight. And then tomorrow morning, I'll come in, I'll rinse it off with hot water, I'll pat it dry with a paper towel, and you can do that step 2 times, 3 times if you're super picky, but normally after the boil and then after painting this out overnight, you're going to be good to go. Your skull is going to be perfectly white. So just one trick, make sure you get inside these cavities here, just kind of dab it in there, glob it all on. The more the merrier, so really load it up. And then tomorrow, it'll be good to go. Again, guys, this is just an extra step. You might want to put a piece of cardboard like we have here underneath just to catch the extra drippings. That way it doesn't discolor your floor or anything. But we are going to be making videos. We're going to try to do videos every 2 to 3 weeks. So if you guys want to do us a huge favor, we're just getting started out. It would mean a lot if you subscribe to our channel. Go ahead and like this video and give it a thumbs up. We really appreciate it.